Don't miss the fun. It is circus time. Welcome. It is. Good to say. Circus time. Circus. Look at this horse. Wow. What a beautiful glass horse right there. Circus Vasquez. And I saw this, and I had to take a little detour. Clearly they're not over. That horse alone was worth a stop. Look at that thing. The glass horse. Vasquez. CircusVasquez.com.
You can only use it when on special occasions, and she used it when the preacher would come over.
Oh, really? Okay. So this is local.
Yes.
You're...
And on here it says where it was made.
Okay. Louise Spearman, black welder and comedian. Okay. Yeah, my grandmother used to do quilting a lot too, yeah.
Do you do any?
No, I have no talent whatsoever.
Oh.
I'm the least talented person you'll ever meet.
I'll tell you a little bit about a couple more, and then I'll let you browse.
Oh, you're fine. Thank you.
And if you have any questions, just let me know.
I got all kind of questions.
And this one is not a husband goes quilt because the fabric dye has just disappeared completely.
Oh, wow. How old is that one?
1880s and 1910.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so started in the 19th century. Yeah, I can understand why that faded.
Yeah. And the butterfly quilt was one of my favorites. It's really cute.
Oh, that is.
And so if you have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you.
No problem.
So quilting and textile. The Sewell family makes this mark. Sewell Manufacturing. His brother Roy established Warren Sewell Clothing Company. The rise of the apparel company. It's interesting they have this here. (1943) sampler. Golden Glow. Springtime Blossoms. I guess quilting still takes place. Billerica. When I was a teenager, thereabouts, my sister actually made me a suit that I wore with pride because she made it. This is called a puff quilt. (1869 to 1958). Bethlehem Star signature for 1940 for whatever reason. Mamie Pierce, Palmetto, Georgia. Hilda Chapman. There are a few signatures. Now, I remember the quilting that on my mother's side of the family, my grandmother, I remember they did some quilting, but they never had one of these quilting machines, if you will. That's what I'm looking at here behind me. called a real weasel for measuring skein of yarn. This is 1850 German flax wheel. A tulip. Felicia Glenn Jones, 1911 to 1984. Yeah, we used to have a lot of quilts. We used them and we wore them out. Wow. And let's see, I didn't get this. No, we didn't have anything like this. Back beam. And this would come together. Breast beam. Beater bar, reed, harness. Interesting. More jiggling. That is a dress. A necky dress made out of neckties. Look at that. Oh, look at this. 1870s treadle sewing machine. And they would use that to make it easy to stitch. This is what they would use. I'm sure it was hand stitched. So is quilting still a big thing?
I think so.
I don't see them, you know, like, of course, I grew up with quilts in the house. I mean, we used them. They certainly weren't for decor purposes, but.
Yeah, we see them a lot. We had a quilt camp this past week where kids from ages like 8 to 12-ish typically, they come in and they each have like a one-on-one mentor, and they learn how to sew, how to piece, and put all the quilt together. So they leave with a quilt. So yesterday was their last day.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so they leave with
A
like
full-size quilt or a smaller one?
Like a smaller one, little like
Kind of
that's
like
the
that.
advanced, that's an advanced size, but a little bit smaller than that. Yeah.
So they just bring some material with them and.
They bring the materials, and then we supply like the sewing machines and like the accessories and all that. But,
Oh, I remember my grandmother. They used to do a lot of hand stitching stuff back then,
yeah,
you
so
know.
these are all these. Do you know if they're all hand quilted?
I'm not sure.
Actually, no, because some of them are more modern.
Yeah.
The last exhibit, excuse me, they were all hand quilted and hand pieced and hand sewn because they were from like the 1800s, and some of these even date back to the late 1800s.
Oh, I will say, well, yeah, the sewing there, and
Yeah.
it's fascinating that necktie dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I know what I can do with my own neckties.
Yeah, and I can actually, we have our classroom.
Okay.
So this is our third gallery here. So it's like a multimedia space. So we have our classroom in here. We have our reference library, as well as like additional quilts on display.
Now, what is the rest of this facility here? Is it like a community center or?
Not a community center, but it is owned, and this light has been slow to turn
Oh,
on.
wow.
But yeah, we have like the mental health advocates, and we have like a children's program in here, and so it's like a city building.
So why a textile museum here?
In Carrollton?
Yeah. Is this big for clothing and?
Yeah, so yeah, like back in the day, there were a lot of textile mills here. Not exactly like, well, not that there were quilting mills, but yeah, there are a lot of textiles in Carrollton, and we just, I guess, whoever decided to build this museum here, it's because we're just south of 20,
Right.
but we're also not in Atlanta, so so it's
Close to Alabama too. So,
exactly
yeah.
like it was just like a good location. 'Cause it's not too far off the highway. It's like a little.
And just a sign there,
Yeah.
textile museum. It's like, okay, I've never been to a textile museum.
Yeah, and we feature a lot of quilts, and so we're slowly trying to integrate the textile portion of that. because we are also a textile museum.
So is there still textile? I mean, do they still do any of this in Carrollton or?
No, like not with the mills or anything like that. No, but just like classes. There is an art center for the arts, which offers classes.
Oh, I saw that center over there too. Yeah.
Yeah, if you check out there, they have a gallery there, a small gallery there too, and that
Okay.
one's free. You can go in. And you know what? Do you want me to grab you gloves? Because you can always look at the back of the quilt.
Oh, really? Sure. Yeah. Thank you. This is interesting. So she's going to give me some gloves. So with gloves, you can actually, they'll let you look at the back of the quilting and whatnot. So we'll get a sample of that. I don't say, I guess it's, I know back when I was a kid, it was not a hobby. And not, at least not in my family. It was like, that's the way we got our blankets. We got our quilts. Back in those days, it wasn't like this was a hobby.
Oh, I know.
It was like this is what we did, and we all slept under a quilt.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. And your downtown area, I guess it's been years and years since I've been in this area, but downtown is really neat here. It's like you got all kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of good restaurants, little boutiques and shops and coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great here. Maple Street is really good too for boutiques, like antique, vintage stores, as well as restaurants. Where are you from?
I'm south of Birmingham. I was born in North Alabama,
Oh, okay.
and I had family that lived in the Hiram, Powder Springs area.
Yep.
So I used to travel through here quite a bit.
Oh, cool.
But yeah.
That's right here. Yeah, feel free to look at the back of the quilts and
Yeah.
the other rooms too.
Okay.
It's always interesting, see what they did back
So this
then.
is where you do your class.
Yeah, so
some
we set
stuff.
up the tables a little bit differently, but this is, we're not having a class.
So it seems like, I mean, these are squares that would have different materials, and some of them were literally patchwork. Like
Yeah.
these are like really nice
Like
matching.
this,
Yeah.
like a crazy quilt.
Yeah, just whatever scraps they had. Like
Mhm.
my sister even made me a suit when I was a teenager, So it was a big thing when I was a kid. But okay, that's what I'm saying. So they would take some big piece of material for the backing,
Yep.
and they don't put any. There's no cotton. There's nothing in there. It's just this material and.
It depends. It just depends. Some people would put like batting in between, and some don't.
Well, I saw the one, the little puff.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
the individual puffs. Yeah, so yeah, it just depends. I think on the quilter what they were trying to do. Like maybe this was more decorative,
Yeah.
or maybe it was for like the spring or summer versus.
Yeah, I know there's people that do it. I didn't know how big it was, but it's not.
Yeah, well, there's a quilting guild. There's quite a few of them all around here, and they get together and they have meetings.
Mhm.
And quilt. So yeah, and in our gift shop, all the quilts that are in there, except for the one being hung, those are all made by local quilters, and we sell them.
Okay.
So we get them. We sell them regularly too.
So what do you get for quilts? For a full-size quilt, what do they go for?
Whatever the seller wants. It depends. It just depends on.
So you have those in the shop up there?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, let me look at,
Yeah.
just
Absolutely.
kind of get an idea what they're going for
Yeah, and
here.
if you want to come back in and look through the books, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
So we have them out, just so the community can come in and reference a little bit of drag.
Yeah, well, that's what
So
caught my
everything
attention
here is
driving on
except for,
20.
like this one quilt here.
Okay. So just for reference, now these are very small. You don't have a full-size quilt for sale. Oh, wait a minute, these
Yeah,
here.
there's bigger ones down here, so it just depends on like what the.
So you kind of have it on consignment, more or less.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Exactly. Yeah, you're welcome to take them.
yeah, I just want to get an idea what they're asking for them. Well, I got more than I bargained for here, I think. There's the price.
I think it's $250.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy a quilt. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, we sell like a lot of the baby quilts. So that people come in and get the baby quilts.
Yeah. Well, like I said, when I was a kid, it was an art, but it was done because we needed quilts. It wasn't hanging on the wall, We wore them out too, I'll be darned. Well, look.
Okay, yeah, thank you for looking that through.
So this one's kind of around. With the gloves, they'll let you look. Okay, so look, there's one big piece of fabric. Look at that print on there. Horses. That is amazing. But I don't see the history of that one. Farmers High Community, Lulu, Granger Brown, Drunkard's Path. And this is a friendship ring. That must be, this is the kind of quilting I remember it was, well, even these have a certain design. Patchwork quilt, I guess what you call it. That is interesting. Very interesting. Well, there you go, folks. You never know what you're going to run across. But this is an amazing piece here. So you can go to a thrift store. That'd be neat to make a kilt out of. A necktie kilt. That was made by this lady here. And she has only been gone for about 5 years. So there you go. The Textile Museum. Interesting what you run across. Gothic looking some of this is. I mean, you really... $18.83. Combat Park. I got a trade deal out here, but walk through part of this flea market, then go back to the other. You're supposed to be able to drive a tank. Let's say 50 cent clothing. Typical see what we got stuff. Good, how you doing? Having a good day? Good. Actually drive a tank around here. I guess it's one of these bad boys, huh? They got Humvees. I guess that's one of the tanks that drive out here. I guess you can drive these things around out here too. This has got to be military surplus type stuff.
Just round and round and round. That's all they do.
Do they?
They love it.
So they rent any of these vehicles or just the tanks?
Everything.
Really?
Yeah.
So the tank's 99. They're all 99, or
The prices I don't know.
you don't
about.
know?
I'm actually the mechanic. I just have to stay out here. And
You're an important guy. Here's
the
a.
Hummers are cheap. I know that.
Oh, really?
They're like $50, $59,
Okay.
some shit like that. I don't know exactly.
So we got a.
This is just a toy. I mean,
Well,
it runs,
yeah. I
but,
started
I mean,
saying
we don't drive it. out
that's a
here.
military dune buggy.
What it is just it's the old Jeep, military Jeep that cut down and made a rat rod out of it.
Chopped it up.
I mean, it runs good, man.
Look at that thing right there.
Sound like it's running 800 miles an hour when you crank it.
So will they get this off of surplus?
Yeah, well, he just buys it.
Yeah.
He is, you ever heard of Love Stuff?
Yeah.
He owns Love Stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is just his
I
place
mean,
always.
always, yeah.
Well, I mean, it all goes to Wounded Warrior of Alabama.
It's a non-for-profit
Basically,
thing.
it's a tax write-off.
Yeah. So, how long has you been out here?
Well, he's been out here 2 years. I think COVID hit, and that
That's
cut.
last year, screwed
I
everything
mean,
up.
they didn't run the park at all last year.
Yeah. Well, I started seeing the signs. I'd never noticed them before, and I
Now, all
thought,
that right there, they're building the southeast United States' largest haunted house.
really?
Yes.
He sounds like my kind of guy right
I
here.
mean, he just, that's all he does. He just plays.
So he got that love
He's out there
stuff on.
working. He works every day.
Yeah.
He's
That-
70 years old. He gets out there, and that's him right there in the suspenders.
The suspenders. Yeah,
He
this
works
is,
his ass off every day, just like everybody else does.
well, that keeps you living.
Yeah.
I was always told you got to have a reason to get up every day.
He does. I mean, like I said, I enjoy coming to work.
Yeah.
I never could say that before. But,
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Oh, so I've got my own GoPros. I don't have to rent them, but you get the
I
helmet.
don't think so. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
these you don't have to have them.
Yeah.
The side-by-side things.
Oh, y'all
They're
got
called
it.
Argos. They float.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
So you keep these beasts running.
Everything out here.
That's amazing. So how much time do they have to go around and around with it?
Couple laps. I mean, like I said, as far as financial side of it, I have no idea. I don't even get involved in that.
I understand. So they gonna have it ready for this Halloween?
Oh yeah. 620 feet working out
He
every day, 7 days a week.
he don't play, does
When he starts something, he does.
he? He don't play.
Like I said, we work 7 days a week. There's no such thing as off days.
So-
But he
so-
works out here 7 days a week.
Oh, I understand. So this is open all the time.
No.
They already went up the hill?
Yeah.
Alright, because they got stuck in that huge mud.
They got stuck here.
Yeah, they were stuck. Like there was no traction whatsoever. I was about to have to swim.
Tell them put it in low gear. When they hit them like that, they won't put it in low gear and then pull on through it. Low and high, it makes a hell of a difference.
So they're not open 7 days a week?
No.
Okay.
I think it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now this is the deal. He's one of them guys. If you come out here and you want to do something on Tuesday and we're
if he's
out
out here,
you
he'll
can
let
do it.
you do it.
I
Yeah.
mean, he don't. Well, we don't advertise that we're open.
Oh, I understand. He's one of those guys like me. He was born and raised in Alabama and acts like
Right.
Alabamian.
Right.
You
He
know,
was a drill
old
sergeant
school,
in the
old
military.
school. Yeah.
And he's hard
Yeah.
nosed to say.
Well, I am
But
too.
he's one of them. He'll tell you. This is the funniest story I believe I've ever heard from him. He said, "If I tell you to pick that goddamn 2x4 up and walk it over there and edge that wood," he said, "Don't question me. Just do what I tell you to do." He said, "Because I'll pay you to go back and get it when I want it.
There you go.
Because there ain't no point in questioning what I asked you
There
to
you
do."
go. That's it.
I don't.
That's it.
Hello.
All right. Don't have a clue. So they drive this around in circles out here. You rent these. This is going to be for Halloween. Got to remember that. Come out here. The biggest one, he said. The biggest one. That's amazing. So I'm just looking at this stuff here. So this guy that owns this, look at this. My God. He so he owns that love stuff all over the state of Alabama.
Every one of them.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
And didn't he have to battle the state a few years ago with this stuff?
Several times. But he's got. You seen the movie Larry Flint?
Yeah, well, it's been a long time ago, yeah.
His lawyers are the same lawyers he's got.
Somebody got to fight for our rights all the time, don't they?
I mean, if you don't want to go in the damn store, don't go in there.
That's you know what? If
If
you
he
don't
wants
want,
to sell dog shit, it should be legal.
nobody requiring you to smoke a cigarette,
Right.
are
Right.
they?
But it's okay for that. But the tobacco,
It's crazy. It's
they
crazy.
have to fight for the shit too.
Well, you see the hat I got on. See, and I'm a conservative fella, but I believe in freedom.
Right.
And freedom to me means you got a right to do something I
I don't
detest.
think anybody from the South is totally conservative.
Well, conservative went way too far. I mean, they just went
That's
like
what I'm saying. I mean,
just
like when I was
controlling.
younger, my dad was a damn yellow dog Democrat. You couldn't tell him no different.
Yeah.
And then things started to change.
Well, they say people forget that George Washington was a Democrat.
Right. And I mean, things started to change. He decided different.
Yeah.
I mean, last few years he was alive, he voted Republican.
Yeah. Well, I look at the candidate more than I do the party
Right.
anymore, you know.
But used to, I mean, he didn't give a shit who it was. He was a Democrat, and that's the way it was.
Yeah. Well, I never looked at it that way. So, well, I can't wait. You say that's gonna be the largest one? What now?
It's the largest one in the Southeast.
I'll be damned. Well, I'll be back. I'll just come back from Atlanta, and I thought I'm gonna see what this is all about.
Yeah. Come on, ride with us. We have a good time.
I'll bring somebody out here with me so I can have fun. Take care, brother.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Well, there you go, folks. And you can drive a tank for $100 if you want to have the experience. There it is, and there's about to be, he says, the largest haunted house, I guess, in the country. He is not playing, and I never knew it, folks. But this is the guy who, look at this. He owns all those love stuffs. My God. Combat Park. What the hell are y'all muddy for?
It rained a little bit.
I see you're going to have fun this time, huh?
Yeah.